So thank you everybody for being here. I'm really glad that you said that we are here for learning, because this is actually something that is really, really important for us, and I really hope that this will be an open session. So I'm sharing with you what we are actually doing and the way we are changing the way we do campaign, but I really like very much to hear from you as well. So as probably you know, Greenpeace was started from this crazy bunch of people in 1970. They decided together. They were kind of, strange, as I say, a strange bunch of people made by Canadians, US. They were like musicians, scientists, journalists. They decided at one point that they wanted to go to Amchitka, which is an island close to Alaska, to stop the nuclear test bomb. So they just rent a ship and they went there. They were actually not able to stop the test at that time, but they create a movement, because while they were reaching the island, well, actually they never made it because they were stopped by the military, but they were communicating with people all the things that they were doing. So they were stopped by the police, by the military, go back to Vancouver, where they started, and at the port, they found an immense crowd of people just cheering them, and just, because they have been listening, and all the radio that were sending from the ship. But actually, fortunately, 1 year later, we were able to stop this test bombing in Amchitka. So this is how Greenpeace was born. And now, after 40 years, we are more or less in 55 countries. We have 26 offices all around the world, and we have about 40 million of people that are supporting us. And we are rethinking the way we do campaign, because times are really changing. So, I guess. So, even though we were like leading, let's say, the environmental changing in the organization, we saw in the last century, and specifically in the last 50 years, that social change, social movement really changed the world, and also that this is really changing. The way we do this is really changing. So it is not a matter of being concentrating on one specific topic, like gender issue, or environment, or indigenous rights, or the access to communication, to information. But all these things are linked together, and they cross over together. So we cannot work as a silos anymore, and we really need to connect, to interact, and to create networks with all of this reality. So, yeah, thanks. So, we also understand that the way we do a campaign, it was really, really, I would say, Greenpeace-oriented. This does not mean that we are not working with people, and as I said, we have many people that join Greenpeace and does many actions and things with us. But the thing is that we are being kind of perceived like the lonely hero against, so it's like David against Goliath. And this is a storytelling that has worked for quite a long time, but it's not really working anymore. I mean, it is still working, but we are not convinced that this is the best way to do things. So the idea is that we really need to have billions of people being the hero, and that will make a huge impact and a huge difference in changing the world. And to do this, we really need to open more than we did in the past. And to do this, we changed a lot the structure, the internal structure. So now we are really working closely with local communities. We are enabling people to take action, to be not only to be part of, but to have the ideas, to share their ideas, and to take action with us with their own ideas. Yeah. I don't know. No, maybe it's, yeah.
Just use the clicker.
Okay. So this is exactly, if you want to change the world, we need to change ourselves. This is what we are, at the moment, we are doing. And this means that the reason why we are doing this is because, yes, we won many battles, to be honest. So we were able, for example, to stop commercial whaling. We were able to stop polluting the ocean in some area, detox the ocean. Lately, we were able to try to stop Adidas to use PFC in their clothes, or we kicked out Shell out of the Arctic. But we feel that we are losing the big battle, to be honest. If we just think about climate change, now everyone is talking about climate change. This is in the agenda of every politician, of every organization, every government as well. But actually, if we don't do something now, and if we are not a huge group of people that is really acting now and wants to change things, probably we are going to lose the big battle. To do this, we are trying to be very much concentrated on what engagement means. Now, engagement seems to become the new black because everybody is talking about engagement. I don't have actually a clear definition, but I'd like to share with you what the vision of engagement we think we have. So the first one is breadth, what we call breadth. So we need to reach out for more people, with more audiences, and using many more channels. Just to make an example, if we think about fundraising, I would say that 80% of the donors that join Greenpeace come from direct dialogue source, face-to-face, which is, we are very proud of that because it's in our core is value, just stop and talking to people. But at the same time, it's becoming quite old-fashioned in some market, and we cannot be dependent only from this source. We are becoming stronger and stronger in the digital side as well, but again, we really want to reach as many people as possible using the channel they prefer to use and testing out the right messages to reach from them. And also, we don't want just to have one single action, because normally when we do our campaign, we are very much focused on one single action in that precise moment. So let's stop Shell or detox now or things like that. But we really need to link all these moments and create a journey for the people that really want to stay with us. So for us, let's say that engagement is having as many people as possible to join Greenpeace, to work with Greenpeace, to act with Greenpeace, doing many more things for a long term, for a long period of time. And also, be open, as I said. Be open for us is quite, to be honest, is quite strange. It's probably strange for you as well to listen to that. But since now we're building our campaign, thinking about the target, probably, thinking about the audience, but not really working with them, not really understanding them. So it's something that we are changing a lot. And this means co-creation, and this means so design together. The campaign needs to be designed together with the target and with the audience that we want to engage with, and work more with local movements, local campaigns, and local networks. This is how we see our engagement pyramid. So again, as I said, we are still in the process of learning and understanding what we are doing. And so we were kind of designing this engagement pyramid, which is not something completely new. It's taken from engagement pyramid 6 level of connecting people and social change from Gideon Rosblatt. And but we were trying to figure out how the people that is close to Greenpeace can build up in this ladder. So for example, we have at the base, we have the observing ones, so the people that are more or less interested in what we do, but we don't have any detail, any contact from them. They may have seen us on Facebook, on television, or they may have a friend that is talking about them, about Greenpeace, but we don't really have contacts with them. And then we have the following. So following is somebody that has already taken a small action, let's say, or has agreed to receive information, newsletter, or whatever. And what we call endorsing is somebody that has taken another step. That means that at least that signed a petition or is sharing our material on Facebook, on even talking to people on face-to-face. When we are going into contributors are people that gives, of course, money, but also time. And not only one time, but on a kind of regular basis. So they really stay with us and work with us on a regular basis. Then we go to the top of this pyramid, which is the one we really aim to achieve as much as possible, which is the owning and the leading. The owning means that people is really proposing and taking actions. So it's not simply receiving our ideas, our materials, our inputs, but they are giving to us their idea, their inputs, what they want to do actually, and organizing themselves in teams, in communities, in organization, local organization. And of course, they are going to lead others. And we really need to have as many leaders as possible to work together with us, as many inspiring people as possible to work together with us. We have a kind of list, let's say, about people power. So this are all the things that we think people can do when are really engaged. And of course, we are talking about consumer pressure, corporate and political pressure that might be different in each and every country, of course, because of the market, because of the law, for example, especially if we are talking about political pressure. But all these things can be done somehow. And raising awareness is the first step to engage people. So as soon as people is aware, know what we want to do, why and how we want to do that, this is really the first step and to start this journey together. Organizing, as I said before, it's for us is a leadership skill, leadership activity, and it means involving other people in sharing your beliefs, your values, and the things that you really want to do and to achieve. Volunteering also is a nice kind of way of, you can express your power. It's a two-way round because you can give your expertise, you can give your time, but you can get a lot of new friends, and also you can do things that you care for. And crowdsourcing, now this is really becoming bigger and bigger because with the internet, and we are all so connected, and we can really exchange good practice, ideas, even crowdfunding a lot of small and bigger projects as well. So this is again a huge way in which people can be connected. Donating as well, it's a good way because people are really keen to donate for the cause he or she cares for, and to know also what we are doing with the money that they spend. So they really, it's a way to be close to a cause in a very practical way. Behavior change is something that for us is really, really, and not for us, I think that all campaign-driven organizations look for behavioral change of each of us. And again, non-violent direct action, this is something that we are quite famous for, but this is not something that is just Greenpeace that can do, but everyone can really do that. We have so many great examples if we think about Gandhi and Martin Luther King, and nowadays we have many examples of brave people that really want to confront in a non-violent but sometimes really creative way with the companies or with government, and just to say what they want to say and to change things. We've been last year in an open boot campaign in Berlin. There were kind of 70 organizations working together, and just to try to define and understand better what an open campaign means. And those are not really rules, but just few ideas and few questions you should start to ask to yourself if you want to plan, let's say, an open campaign. So first question is how this is started. Is started from an idea about the staff or an idea from the people that is close to you, that you met, that you know. So who's the owner of this idea? And then the other thing is write. So write is who has the power exactly to write the strategy, to write the tactics of this new of this campaign. Is or you just decided everything on your own and then you just deliver, you know, to the public what do you want to do. So at what extent, you know, the people that is working with you can really design the campaign together with you. And again, that goes to decision making. So do you have to have the control of what is happening, or you are going to leave the people that is working with you to take their own control and work in a more distributed way? Be creative. This is something that we are really passionate about. And but again, let people be really, really creative. I'm going to show you an example of a recent campaign we just did, and we used a lot of ideas that were coming from people completely outside of Greenpeace world. And again, goes to individuals, to network. We know that we can act on our own, like for example, signing a petition, but I think that we might have a much, much bigger effect and impact if we work through networks. And also moving from a single moment to a journey, to something that can continue in the time. This has happened when, for example, we work with local communities. We may have like 1 week or 1 day of action in which we try to do some activities globally. But this doesn't mean that the campaign stops there, because the local community continue to tackle and to work on that issue at the local level. So that means that the campaign is continue his work. So this is the kind of case study I'd like to share with you, because we have many campaigns. This is the Detox Outdoor one. This is, I hope the campaign will forgive me to say that, but this is a part of a bigger campaign, so it's not even something really, really big we are working on. This is specifically on outdoor clothes. And the aim is to ask to the company that actually produce and sell clothing for outdoor to take out hazardous chemical, and specifically PFOC, out of this clothing, because it's such I would say, a stupid things. Because people that buy this kind of clothes are really natural lovers, are really people that really want to stay and have a lot of fun outside. So it's really a pity that while they're outside doing this, they are wearing clothes that contain chemical substances that are negative for the environment. What we do, we started this campaign as I would say an experiment, a test, and that was completely open for the first time. So we were kind of putting in practice all the 7, let's say, rules I showed you before. How we did that? We decided that we wanted to work with a specific target, and the specific target was exactly outdoor lovers. That means group of people that loves go out and do trekking. That means local community that live in remote areas, up in the mountains, this kind of audience. And the difference is that we started to work with them since the very beginning of the campaign, designing the campaign together with them. So we exchanged to them our theory of change by asking, what do we want to achieve together? What are the main companies that we want to tackle, that we want to confront? And we let them decide which one. So everything started by them writing to their favorite company and asking about the chemical substances they used in the dresses, in the clothes. And they were openly and publicly sharing the answer of this company. And you can imagine the fear of these companies, because it's not, okay, Greenpeace is, always the same, but it's your customer that is asking you, what do you put in your clothes? I'm not happy that you put this in your clothes. And then the second step was decided together which one we wanted to work more on, and we were kind of there was a platform, and we were asking people to vote which brand we should analyze, and if we find chemical substances, attack, let's say. Well, not let's say. So we decided together with the people which brand we should analyze. We did the analysis, and then we produced a report with all these analyses. And then again, we came back to these people, and we organized, I think that many workshops in at least 10 countries, but also an open platform where we ask the people, let's give us your idea. So now we know that these companies are putting this PFC in their clothing. We want to do something, how we do that together. And the ideas were coming out absolutely from the people. Many of them, of course, came out. So we had a kind of competition, and to decide which one were the best idea that we want actually to put in practice. And out of this, we organized a global week of action, putting in practice all these ideas that were coming from the people. And as a learning, I have to say that people is really much more willing to do things when they are engaged since the very beginning. They really feel an ownership on what they are doing. And even though there is some negative aspects, because normally when we attack some brand, we do it in a quite creative and way, and we don't want them to know that we are going to attack them, let's say. But so we take the risk. We say it's okay. This is. Also, we are putting this campaign in a very positive side. So we are not telling this brand that, oh, you are the bad guy, we don't like you. We're just telling to them, okay, you can do a good job, because we really like your brand, but we really want that you produce clean clothes. So we put that in a very positive way. So if this is working now, I think, no, I have some picture I can show as well, so I don't actually need the video.
That was it? Mm-hmm. Sorry, because the computer switched. Okay.
So just to explain to you what happens, in this Global Week of Action, actually we had 21 countries participated, doing kind of 154 different activities all around the world. And those activities were, as I said, chosen by the public. And so there was somebody that was trekking in a very remote area and opening a banner with a message. Other people went just in front of the shops of the brand we were attacking, and stopping the people and letting the people know that in this shop you can buy clothes with PFC. And the other one was very funny, because they decided to go outdoor, get completely naked, and put a banner like better naked than wearing this kind of stuff. And this actually was an idea that came out from a very, very old group of people living in it was the Alpini. I don't know if you understand that, but it's a very old group of people that lives up in the mountains, and they were like going crazy about this idea. So this is something that have been done. And while we were talking with these people, a very famous climber, which now is also a volunteer, approached us and said, okay, let's show to everybody that wearing clothes without PFC is absolutely fine when you are escalating a very high mountain. And so he did this escalation with a friend of him. This is in Patagonia, actually. We provide him with clean clothes, what I would say. And he was writing a blog, and that was really, really successful. So a lot of people was really reading, and even people that is not absolutely interested in climbing or things like that. So this is, again, some other activities that happened. So just to finish, our aim is not to be the lonely hero anymore, but to be, well, we would like to be everyone heroes among heroes, because we really need to have all this people power working with us if we really want to change the world. And that's it.
Thank you.